Welcome to the Real Mama Pod.
I'm your host, Devin.
And I'm your host, Kendra.
We are real moms.
Sharing real experiences. The things people don't tell you. Hey, Mama, hey.
Hey, Mama. How are you?
I'm good, friend. If this is your first time listening, I'm your host, Kendra.
And I'm your host, Devin. Welcome to the Real Mama Pod.
Welcome. So, friend, we're doing a part 2 of a conversation that we had.
Yeah.
And yeah, we were like, we can keep talking. So why not make it 2 separate episodes?
Right. So one is a very light and fun episode, and one we're going to dig a little deeper and talk about what's going on with us.
Yeah, and this
and
is
just
still
to
gonna
update
be,
you guys.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
fun
going to
and
be
light.
heavy, but
Heavy.
not
too heavy.
just some updates. Just some updates.
Yeah, because we have a lot of guests. We have a lot of great guests, but a lot of times it's hard for us to kind of update what's going on with us. So I think this is perfect.
Yes, indeed. So we're going to actually start off with you. I feel like we're always talking about me and what's going on in my personal life. So we're going to see what's going on with Mrs. Grace.
There's a lot going on, a lot of moving pieces, a lot of transition. So we've done a lot of traveling this summer, spring, summer. So we're coming off that high. With that, sitting my behind down because we have spent a lot of money traveling and doing these experiences. And although you cannot trade those experiences for the world, you also need to be financially responsible.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's time to sit on down. But this summer was great. Drew turned 5, and I can't believe I'm a parent of a 5-year-old.
That's
so
wild. That's still wild to me.
He's going to kindergarten. He's losing a tooth. I just wish the tooth had come out at this point. It's literally hanging on by a thread, and he won't let us pull it. And I mean, he's learned how to ride a bike this summer. His swimming has gotten drastically better. He's learned how to ride a hoverboard, and he had his first little t-ball season. So Drew has had a lit season, and just seeing so much growth with him. And of course with Jay being the youngest, I feel like he grows up even faster because he's right behind Drew. So, but Jay has his limitations. Jay is I'm not riding a scooter. He'll get on his bike and he's I'm not riding a scooter. For his little sluggers, he wasn't as motivated. He was just I'm here, but I'm not about to show out for nobody.
Little sluggers.
Yeah, little sluggers. And he has an issue with the name because Drew already teased him about little sluggers being for babies and younger kids and T-balls for the big kids. So then he doesn't want to go to little sluggers because he's I'm not a baby.
Oh, so, tell Drew don't do that to him.
I know. So yeah, the boys are great. Just having the idea of being a mom of a 5-year-old still makes me very sad. It's you want your kids to grow up, but you don't. It's I can't wait for y'all to do this. The only thing I can't wait for them to do is to go downstairs and make their own breakfast. They don't have to get me up. And I can just sleep in.
And chocolate milk too.
Right. Whatever you need in the kitchen, you can do. But at the same time, I'm just no, my baby's what? I'm not ready. So It's just a double-edged sword. But yeah, I'm very nervous about kindergarten. I feel Drew's on track. We've been working with his reading. He's reading sight words and rhyming words, those type of things, CVC words.
What is a CVC word?
Yeah. Consonant, vowel, consonant.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm sad. And then, okay, so that's enough about motherhood. When it comes to Jared and I, we are relocating to Florida. So we should be there by the end of this year. But with that, it's changing schools. It's me trying to find another job, us getting another house. So that whole transition, he's going to be gone for 3 months, 4 months. So I'm going to be solo for that amount of time. So just getting ready for that transition, and I'm excited to be closer to family and friends. But I also established myself here. So it's like bittersweet. Like I didn't really want to go, because like this would be my third year in my school district. Drew is really comfortable here. I'm getting to know his school. I know he's in a really good school district. I know he's getting a good education. I don't know if we're going to get that in Florida. So just really trying to take things slowly and really figure out where we fit. And really figuring that out. And then house hunting again. These interest rates are ridiculous compared to when we bought in 2020. So just changing my mindset, but also not complaining, like definitely showing gratitude, thanking God for this opportunity. I know he wouldn't lead us astray. It's just, hard to like start over again. Like every 2 to 3 years or 3 to 4 years, I'm starting my life over. And so now that we have kids, it's just a little harder,
Yeah.
But one thing about the military, you'll have family everywhere, but it's just like, again, just starting over. It's just so hard. And so Jared's like, are you excited? And I'm like, I am, but like, can I process this?
Yeah.
So and he's like, I can understand how, this is so hard for you, for your career, because I have to get relicensed every time I move somewhere. I have to try to find a job, hope it's an opening, or I have to sit out a whole year. So it's just like, again, I'm not complaining, just updating. Definitely grateful for the opportunity, because Jared would be more stable at home with his job, and so it'll be more like a 9 to 5, and we can kind of expect a normal schedule, and he'll be home more, so that's good for our family. But just the transition there is just a little difficult.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
that's the side of a military family that no one, like, you hear about it, but you don't really understand unless you are living that life. So
Yeah.
I don't understand from a spousal perspective, but from a kid, I understand how those transitions can be a lot. So
Yeah.
y'all will be fine. Y'all have actually been very, Fort Irwin was a little interesting, but Savannah and going to Orlando, like y'all are, especially for Jared to be in the Army and be stationed at not in the middle of nowhere, aside from Fort Irwin. Y'all have lucked up in that sense. So
we have.
You'll be fine in Florida. You're gonna find a job. You're gonna find the perfect house for your family. Jared's gonna be home more. You're gonna be around family. Florida is a home state, kind of, I guess, for y'all. So that I'm excited for y'all about.
Yeah, you're right. And God is good because Jared hasn't deployed, like we've always been in situations where he hasn't deployed.
Knock on wood.
So yeah, knock on wood for that. And so I am grateful for that. Even though he's gone for trainings, he's been gone for like 6 months at a time and things like that. We've never faced a deployment. So I am grateful for that. I feel like I'm very privileged when it comes to that in the military life, because it's kind of unheard. Like even your dad is like, how does Jared get the jobs that he get? Like I've never met somebody.
Especially at Fort Stewart. Like
right,
y'all at Fort
exactly.
Stewart where they deploy heavy. So
heavy,
that is a blessing.
Yeah. He just happens to get switched at the right time, and but God is good in that aspect, because when Jared told me he was joining the Army, that was like my biggest fear of him deploying. I know that sounds very selfish because that's what he signed up for, but I'm also a person who's not
you're human.
Familiar with the military, right? And that's not like, that wasn't my first thing. Like if anybody knows me, I'm very scary. I don't like guns. Like I'm just like, no, like this is the worst thing you can possibly do. Like, so I'm just like, Lord, please don't let him deploy. And so God has been granting my wishes with that. Again, it sounds very selfish, but hey, I am who I am.
That's the reality. I can't say that I know of anyone who wants their husband to deploy or their partner, if I can be honest.
That's true.
So you not wanting Jared to deploy is normal, and I if you do want him to deploy, then it's like, what? Why would you want that to happen?
Well, some folks want their spouses to deploy because of the money.
Yeah, you're right. And then I question their morals.
Right,
like
exactly.
you But yes, friend, I have high hopes for y'all in this new transition to Florida. Y'all are going to be good. Y'all are going to be happy. God's going to grant you everything you need and want, plus more. So
Thank
we're
you.
going to put that out
that.
there.
From your lips to God's ears, honey.
There we go. We're going to say a hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Now,
Amen.
We're going to claim it.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, mamas. Have y'all ever gone through a friendship breakup? It stinks. It hurts. It feels like you broke up with your man. The journey to healing after the end of a friendship can be so tough. But guess what? You don't have to figure it out alone.
That's right. So allow us to introduce you all to the Creative Healing Series. This series is a transformative virtual screening of the documentary Best Friends Not Forever.
Yo, that title says everything.
It
So
does.
join our girl, Shalise. She's a rattler
Hey,
and a
Rabbit.
licensed professional counselor.
Yes, and she is with director of the documentary Diamond Williamson as they unpack this amazing series. Where's
Yes,
this event? When is it, Evan?
girl, it's virtual, so you don't have to worry about getting all dressed up and dolled up or anything like that. But it's Saturday, August 19th, 2023, for an empowering experience to support you in finding your solace and healing through creative expression.
All right. So before we get into you getting into this event, again, it's virtual, but there is still a fee. Okay. Take the first step toward healing, right? And rediscover yourself in your friendships. Use our code MAMAPOD, that's MAMAPOD, to receive up to 20% off on your ticket. If you are interested in attending this virtual event, you can go to www.theconsciousqueen.com, or you can visit Eventbrite and type in Best Friends Not Forever to secure your spot.
Yes, tell her we sent you.
Hey. Don't claim it.
All right, so I gave you an update for about 10 minutes. So what you looking like somewhere around there?
Well, I guess.
What you looking like over there? How the Fergusons? How's my baby Eli?
Oh, girl, we got a lot going on. We always got a lot going on. So I'll pick up where I left off in my last check-in. So I had a check-in conversation in February of this year? I think so. But it was shortly after I had an ectopic pregnancy where I shared that entire experience with y'all. I'm not going to go down the full story again because I just don't feel like talking about it. But if you are interested, you can go back to, I don't know what episode number it is, but a few episodes ago
It's called Checking In on Ken.
Checking in on Ken. But I had an ectopic pregnancy that resulted in me having my one of my fallopian tubes removed. And as a part of that follow-up post-ectopic pregnancy process, I had to have a couple more doctor's appointments and get my other tube checked out to make sure it was still in good condition. And it turns out it wasn't. So I was advised to go ahead and get that tube removed because of the possibilities of other things possibly happening with toxins being released into my organs. It was just a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm like, if the tube is there and it's not functioning, just go ahead and take it out. Like, there is no purpose of it being there and possibly ruining something else, within my system. So I got my tube removed in June of this year. And I've had a lot of people ask me, like, how, of course, the people that know, because I haven't made this public until now, but I've had friends and family ask, like, how do you feel about that? Are you okay? And people are literally surprised when I say I am content. And I'm putting that all to just God's grace. Like, there are so many things that could have happened if I would not have listened to my body during that ectopic pregnancy. Like, I literally could be dead. And there are just so many scenarios that could have resulted in me not being here. And because God positioned me to be here, all I can do is just be thankful that I am still living, I'm breathing, I'm still here to care for Eli, still here to be Jonathan's wife, and still here to grow our family in a capacity, because we do still have the capacity to grow a family. But I made that decision to just go ahead and get my fallopian tube removed, the other one. So at this time, or never, I'm not gonna have another 2 fallopian tubes, but my fallopian tubes are no longer there. And they've asked, would you be interested in IVF? And in all honesty, I'm not. And the reason why is I kind of wrestled with this because Jonathan has been, after Eli's situation with the severe preeclampsia, he was very hesitant about us trying again. And when we got pregnant this last time, he was happy, but he was fearful of me having the same experiences I had with Eli. And after the ectopic, he was certainly like, no, like, I don't want to try again. I don't want to put your life at risk. It is a hard no for me. And I was like, no, like, let's just try and see. Let's check out the other fallopian tube and see if it's safe. If it is, let's try again. And after having those conversations and the higher risk that are associated because I had an ectopic, it's highly possible that I could have another one. So having those conversations, then learning that that other tube was obstructed and had to get it removed, then thinking about the severe preeclampsia I had with Eli and the gestational diabetes I had with him, it's just too much. And my body has already gone through enough trauma. I don't need to put myself through those possibilities of risk again, or high risk. So I sat with myself. I had a conversation with myself and God, and I allowed him to kind of steer me mentally and physically into a direction that sat well with me in making that decision. So after prayer and trusting that God would lead me into a space where I was comfortable, I made that decision that, this is just not for me. On top of science, because I do believe in it. It just didn't make sense. And the money that has to be put behind IVF, I just didn't want to take those risks. So we decided, or I should say, I decided for myself that I'm not interested in carrying any more children, given the experiences I've had in the past. Now, does that mean we won't grow our family? Absolutely not. It does not mean that. We still have plans on adopting over the next few years to grow our family. We want Eli to have a sibling, whether it's through blood or love. And in this case, it will be through love. So the Fergusons will be adopting a kid. And as soon as we start that process, y'all will know. So that is my update, at least in that space. And Eli is doing just fine. I don't know what has happened over the last few months, but he's gotten really tall. And I don't know if he's eating something different, or I really don't know. But my baby is literally like at my waist, and he's 3.5. So he's getting big. School is going very well for him. He may move up to the 4-year-old class soon. I'm not sure yet. I got to check out the class and see if it fits us comfortably, and him, of course, comfortably academically and socially. But he's doing very well in school. And we are also, the Fergusons, are in the process of closing on our first home. Yes. I know we've been talking about this house for a long time, and we are finally here. I know. So
I'm so happy.
Yes. It's, how the back and forth is with home buying processes and such. So we are still in that phase, but we have gotten our clear to close, and we should be closing here within the next week or two. So Yeah. And aside from me being busy with work all the time, I mean, that's really nothing new. But everything is going well. Jonathan is in the final stage of being licensed for his career. So we're doing pretty good. So I'm thankful.
That's good.
That's all
That's
I got.
good. You know, it would be funny if we adopt our kids around the same time.
It
Because, you know,
would.
that would be hilarious, actually.
It would. And if they're around the same age.
I know, because I don't know if you've done any research or not yet on the whole adoption process, but through my research, I found that you don't want to disrupt the birth order of the kids you already have, like your birth kids. So the kid that you're adopting will more than likely be younger than Eli. And I don't know what age range I want to do. I know for sure we don't want a newborn. And I don't think we want somebody in daycare, because once we close that chapter, I think we're done.
Paying for daycare.
Yes,
because the shit's expensive. Let's
man,
just be real.
It's very expensive. So I'm thinking between like 5 and 7, and then for us, because you know we have 2 kids already, it's just like I much rather someone else get a newborn and go through that and experiencing that than us, because that's my least favorite stage, and I've been very candid and honest about that. I love my babies. It's just a lot of work.
It is.
And I'm just not ready to go through that ever again in life if I don't have to. And then I feel like that age range is very important, and those are the kids where they start to get forgotten about, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like from 5 to like teenage years. I don't necessarily want a teenager. If God put a teenager in my life, like I have no control over that in our lives, but like 5 to 7 would be ideal for us. So that'll be interesting to see how our process go.
We shall see. We definitely do not want a newborn.
Oh, really?
No, because again, like you said, those early stages, like I know for sure, Jonathan did not. Of course, we love our Eli.
Yeah,
let's be.
of
And I feel like it's a beautiful experience in parenthood, but those newborn days are pure hell, if I can be honest. And like you said, daycare is very expensive. So ideally, if the kid is like 4, right, transitioning out of daycare and into preschool, kindergarten, then okay, that's fine, whatever. But no, we do not want a super young kid that's still in diapers. And now again, like you said, if God says no, this is what y'all gonna have, and that's that, then hey, it is what it is. But preferably, you know, a kid that, and we have done our research in that sense of not disrupting the order of age in the house. So I'm not sure exactly what that age will be, since we said the next few years, and Eli will be 8 if we really count 4 years from now.
Right.
But I don't know. I guess the real question for me is, do I want another son or do I want a daughter? And that I do not know. I have no clue. I know how it is dealing with boys in my house. I have my Zuri. Zuri is my niece, but she's like my daughter too. So I don't know. I really don't. I have no clue what the sex or gender of that baby will be.
Or you could do siblings. You could do a brother and sister, and you have one of each.
Now, I didn't say nothing about adopt. Now, again, if this is God's plan, this is His plan, and we're gonna follow it. But I said a child, not. Now, again, this is also a thing. I would not want to separate a sibling dyad. I would not want to do that. But if there is a solo child that needs a home, then obviously. But if there's a set of siblings that need a home, I would not turn that down. No. Yeah. And I'm sure Jonathan wouldn't either. I know he wouldn't. 2 brothers were adopted. So, and they came as a dyad. So, 100% would not turn that down. But you're
not volunteering.
I'm not volunteering for 2 kids at once. No.
That's funny. Yeah. Okay. Well, this will be interesting. I can't wait. Like, I know I want a daughter. because I have 2 boys, and it's just like I'm ready to have my little mini me. Like, because although the boys are mama's boys, like they like hanging with their dad. Like they go to their dad to like go outside and do like, you know, those kind of things. Like I'm not really going outside if I don't have to. Like,
yeah. And it's like that thought of like, when I think about my parents and I think about me and my brother and how we interact with my parents. Right. I talk to my parents every day.
Absolutely. And
every day.
Yeah. Yeah. We talk about this a lot on the podcast. Like, our son's getting older, you know, like once they get a wife, like that's it for us. Like, as much as we don't want to accept that, as much as we don't want to accept that, as much as we pray, as much as we want to be like, you still the mama on my daddy's side. Like, you still the daddy side of the family.
I know. And so that's one thing. Let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you about my mama. My mom, I love my mama to death. That's my girl. I talk to her every day, all day if we could. But my mama don't give a damn about nothing. We are her kids, me and Vontae. She's gonna call. She gonna text. She's going to make sure she is a part. And I feel like, to an extent, okay, let me preface it by saying, to an extent, I'm going to be the same way with Eli and whoever he is with.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
not, like, y'all going to see me. Y'all going to hear me. Y'all going to know me. My grandkids, if Eli decides to have children, they going to know me. Like, that's just that. And that's how my mom is with my brother. Like, her and my sister-in-law are really close. They talk every day. I talk to my sister-in-law like every day. So, but we also got lucky with Bree. It's just not always like that.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
Bree is like a sister to me, like not an in-law, but she's like a sister to me. So I pray that I have a similar experience with Eli and whoever he ends up with, and if they decide to grow a family. So
that too. And y'all live close together. I think that changes some things too. So depending on where the child is and all that stuff. But yeah, I just feel like I try really hard to be inclusive with Jared's family and try to be fair. Like, we split holidays, like we do all that because like I want that to come back to me. Like, I don't want to look up and be like, I haven't heard from my son in 2 weeks. Like, what? Like, why aren't you calling your mom? But then at the same time, I don't want to be calling him all the time. Like, I want to give them space. I don't know. We'll see when we got a long time to get there.
We have a long way to go.
I still think about that because that is a fear. Because honestly, when you look at it just from our lens and know all the husbands that we know, including our husbands, like, it's just like, if we don't do certain things, they're not doing it. So we need to make sure they marry somebody who sees us as important.
And in all honesty, Jonathan he's intentional about one time of the day to make sure the parents are called, unless he's calling, outside of me. Yeah. But when Eli is at bath time, he has a standard FaceTime call with my mom and his mom. And that is for Eli to talk. It happens every night. They are on FaceTime while Eli is getting a bath. So I will applaud Jonathan for that. But outside of that, I don't know. Yeah. Actually, I think I can speak to that a little bit because I've heard his mom say, I ain't heard from you. So I imagine that's probably, unless something's going on, that's probably the only time he talked to her.
I think when we were overseas, in London, Paris, UK, you even asked me, he's like, you talked to your mom since you've been here? He's like, no, is something wrong? And it's just
yeah.
And Jared's like, yeah, something wrong. I'm like, I already know you didn't call your mom while you was over here. She may not even know you're here. But it's just like, see, I'll call her when I get back. Like,
if Eli is grown and he is international and I don't know,
right?
What?
Right.
What?
Right. I don't know. I don't know. We got a long time from there. I just hope I just feel like girls are just more nurturing. They go back to their families. They just, you know, so I want that. I want that for me when I get older. And I just want that mother-daughter relationship. Like I really do. And I want to do the girly things. Like I want to go get my nails done. I want to go get my hair done. I want to do that with my daughter. Like I want to experience that. It's only so much I can do with the boys. At the end of the day, like I can take them to go get a haircut. It's just not the same.
No, I hear you. I know one thing for sure, two things for certain.
What is that?
Zuri is going to make sure her TT is squared away. So if Eli is ever absent in that sense, I know my niece, and she's going to wrangle Eli's ass up too. I already know it. I can see it. She's 4 and feisty. I can see it. She's going to make sure her TT and her Uncle Johnny are squared away. So if we, whenever we adopt, if I don't end up with a girl, for this reason in particular, I know that base is covered because I know Zuri gonna make sure her TT and of course her mommy and her daddy are squared away. She gonna make sure TT and Uncle Johnny are good too.
That's awesome. I only have one niece out of like 12. Well, no, my older nieces, but they're older. You know, they're gonna be grown. You know, it's different. They're not gonna be in the same age group as my boys. And so I do have one niece who's the same age as Drew, but she by country. Like sometimes she's in the States, sometimes she's in Thailand. So I gotta give me a daughter.
Well, friend, so, you gonna be fine, child, when you get older. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
But yeah, that was funny. Yeah, so we checked in on each other. Our listeners know where we are with our transitions. Yeah. So I think it's time for some mama juice.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, we don't really have much mama juice because this is a part 2 conversation of our first recap of the Beyonce concert, the Renaissance. And our trip to Paris and London. So I'm still drinking my Win and Parieee. Y'all can see my lipstick mark. And just to reiterate what's in that drink, it is a playoff of a French 75. And just as I shared in the first episode, I don't have measurements. I just pour sometimes and go. But it does have gin, fresh lemon juice, and lavender simple syrup, and it's all shaken up and poured into a champagne glass where it is topped off with champagne. And if you are interested in the mocktail version, it is sparkling white grape juice. That's what it is. You can still use the lavender syrup, no gin. You can still use the fresh lemon juice and enjoy a Win and Parieee. And that is
love it.
Mama Juice again for today. So,
okay,
what's going on in Mama's Corner?
Yes, if this is your first time listening to Mama's Corner, or Mama's Corner, the podcast, we have a segment called Mama's Corner, and this is where we connect with our listeners. And so our listeners are typically write in or DM us, however, text, whatever. And we kind of discuss the topic on the show. So this one was a pretty good one. So let's see what you got, friend. It says, Hey mamas. Hey mama. I look forward to Thursdays with you ladies. I am the first person in my friend group to have a baby, and I feel so isolated and alone. I'm not sure how to ask my friend or family for help or to even hang out. Any advice would be helpful. So what you got for that, mama?
In all honesty, I'm not speaking from experience here because we have been able to have all our kids kind of together, but just in hearing, it sounds like she's kind of sad. Like, where are my people at? Like, yes, I had this kid, but I'm still not necessarily the same person, but I still want to hang out. I still want to see y'all. And she probably needs that to get a break away from her baby, to be honest. But I would challenge that mama to call it out. You know, don't sit on it, and have the conversation. Say, hey, yes, I do have a kid, but that doesn't mean that I do not want to still kick it, hang out, talk, whatever. Don't always assume that I'm busy with my kid, because yes, I am busy with my kid, but I still want my friends, and I still want my family to think of me and not exclude me because of what they assume. Right. So I feel kind of bad for her that she feels isolated. I don't like when people feel isolated. It makes me feel uncomfortable. But I hope that, you know, she feels comfortable enough to have those conversations, and that whoever her family and friends are, they're comfortable or open to hearing what she has to say and can make some changes on, you know, based on how she feels. I'd hate for her to fall into a postpartum depression stage.
Yeah.
What about you?
Absolutely. I think too, maybe plan something for them to come over and just hang out, like, and tell them straight up, hey, I'm feeling lonely, I need some friends. Like, it's different being a mom and only talking to my baby all day, you know, or not having an adult interaction. So just like, hey, can you come over and kick it with me for a little bit? Or do you want to go to them? I don't know if you feel comfortable going out. I'm not sure how old your baby is, but even going by Target or something like that, just to get out the house, or go for a walk, a picnic. Like, it's a lot of things you can do. So maybe just start inviting those people over, because maybe they don't know. And I don't know how old you are. Maybe you're a little younger. And your friends are just not on like a motherhood mindset. They more like being outside, you know? So maybe you got to reel them back in to be inside to check on you. So I know for our friend group, we really tried to pour into the first person in our friend group to have a baby, but everybody's not like that. We were also 30, or if not close to 30. So the mindsets are a little different. But yeah, invite your friends over or your family member over and tell them you need some adult interaction. Be real. And then ask them, hey, when next time you coming over?
Right.
Or can you come over more? Can you visit me more? You know, whatever you feel comfortable with. And I think that'll be more like an eye opener for them.
Call it out, girl. Call it out.
Don't be rude and don't attack, but definitely call it out.
Yeah, and if you need us, let us know. We're here.
Write us back and tell us what happened, if our advice was helpful, if you tried it. I always wonder. People don't really write us back.
No, they send the message, but
yeah.
How did it work out?
Honestly, by the time we get to the messages, they probably already figured it out anyway.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
that's fair.
It's just like, yeah.
That's fair.
But that was a good one, though. Thanks for writing in, and we hope to hear back from you.
We're sending hugs to that mama.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you don't interact with them as frequently as you want, join some healthy mama groups. I mean, you can always ask us to add you to our baby group on GroupMe, but sometimes even internet interaction could be better than nothing at all. So if the baby groups are healthy, because some of them are toxic as I don't know what, but if they're healthy and they're helpful and they're insightful and you're learning, no judgment, like, come as you are, join those groups and make your own set of mommy group friends.
Yeah. Do what you gotta do, mama.
Have a meetup. Make your own friends. Sometimes you outgrow people.
Yeah. That is a reality. Well, I think we've had a good check-in. And I think we needed this episode, this conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, until next time, y'all.
Bye.
Bye. Guess what? We found the secret. We found the secret. If you are a mama or a woman in general and you are struggling with your libido, we have found the trick. She has done the job. We have been more engaged intimately with our husbands. We have had all the fun. And when I tell y'all the fun, we have had the fun. And guess what? We don't have to put towards so much energy because this has done the trick. And if y'all don't believe us, check out the reviews.
Yep.
Like,
check the link in our bio and use code MAMA, all caps, for extra discounts. But order it today. That's all I gotta say. Order it
today. And like we said, if you don't trust us, read the reviews. All so much for joining us at the Real Mama Pod.
Yes, every Thursday night. Y'all could be anywhere,
but you're hanging out with us.
Yes, and we love it. So, friend, where can they find you?
They can find me anywhere they like. I'm on Instagram at KendraFerg_. And I'm also on Facebook, Kendra Ferguson. Okay. What about you?
And you can reach me at DevGrace_. Instagram, TikTok,
Pinterest, Twitter,
Facebook, Twitter, all of that at the Real Mama
Pod.
Yeah, so make sure you follow us. If you want to learn more about Kendra and I, you can check out our website where we have Mama merch. Hey, you can see our little sweatshirts.
All right. Yeah. We are wearing our Mama merch.
Yeah, we have sweatshirts, hats, necklaces. We also have Rich Auntie merch. So you can purchase that at www.therealmamapod.com. We're so corny.
I know.